The time has finally arrived for the very last part of my top 60 anime EDs list. We've been on an 8-day journey through all the OPs and EDs. If you missed any of those videos, you should probably check them out. Before you get to this one, this is the climax. And granted, I still intend to do a big insert song list at some point. I'm not going to do it immediately afterwards because, frankly, I was kind of hoping to be way ahead of schedule on all of these, and instead, I'm kind of making these last few pretty last minute. I haven't done the work for that other list yet, and, the channel could use a break from the constant song videos. But anyway, this is what we're going to do for now. Let's get down to it. In my 20th place is one of the sweetest, softest, most dulcetly toned EDs of all time. That is the Hidamari Sketch ED, Mebae Drive by Marble. This song is actually really, really complex. There's a lot of noises going on in this track, but all of them are muted, subtle, subdued. Just these very, hypnotizing and sleep-inducing, I'd even say, sounds that create this very full profile of pleasantness. It's a song that I can't really say I've heard much other music that sounds quite like it. Even the other songs that Marble did for Hidamari Sketch, like Ryusei Record for the second season, is a little bit more active, a little bit more of like a pop song. Mebae Drive just kind of hangs in the atmosphere in a way. It's very, very soothing. And in spite of, again, having like a lot going on, if you really pay attention to any one instrument throughout this song, you will find a really cool, technical sounding riff going through it all. And then, of course, the super sweet vocals. This is just one of those songs that, again, because it is so unique, I've listened to it many, many times over the years for that particular mood. It's like, if you're in that mood, you gotta have that song because nothing else has that emotion. Video-wise, it's basically just a bunch of pastel shapes and colors. It looks nice. It fits the tone of the song. It's not particularly noteworthy. There is some decent character art of all the main characters from Hidamari Sketch in there, but, again, you mostly come to this one for just how sweet and heartwarming the song. At number 19, I've got a rollicking good time, the ultra funky, groovy second ED to Eureka 7, Fly Away. Don't remember the name of the artist who does it, but it's a really fantastic song. Much of the same praise I gave to the Hidamari Sketch ED could also be given here, in that there is a lot of subtly complex instrumentation going on to create this mellowed out groove, but this one's a little bit more of a dance track, a lot more upbeat, of course, than the Hidamari Sketch one, but no less sweet and satisfying and heartwarming. It's also a feel-good song, and the vocals are really fantastic. But the video really is probably one of my favorite, ED or OPs in Eureka 7. It has a really cool aesthetic, and it's all paying service to the magazine. So this is something that I wish was kind of explored more in Eureka 7, but the main characters are all part of this ship called the Gecko State that basically... Well, the ship is called the Gecko. Their group is called the Gecko State, and they're like a counterculture movement. Like, they're simultaneously a like government resistance movement, but they're also famous as surfers, of sky surfing, a thing that's in this world. And so they have this magazine that they use to basically show off their surfing, as well as to sort of spread their propaganda, their anti-government propaganda, called Ray Out Magazine. And I'm a huge magazine fan. As you may know, I collect anime magazines. I'm just generally into the aesthetic of magazines, and this ED giving so much, being so stylistically influenced by like counterculture magazines, having so much focus on typography, which I'm a huge fan of, just all the different ways that, like, all the different typefaces that it'll show each character's name in before showing their picture sort of surrounded by text, looking like an ad or like a cool page in a magazine. It just looks really awesome. I'm glad that this is like the only ED where Stoner gets like a real centerpiece focus. If you search Stoner Eureka 7, I think the only image you get is like his picture in this ED. He's one of my favorite characters. I believe he's the one who writes the magazine, in fact. Like, he takes all the photos. I think he might also just create the magazine entirely himself. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I love the aesthetic of it. I love how it matches with the song. I love the part at the end where all the side characters are reading the magazine. It's just such a fucking dope-ass, super feel-good ED, and it pairs really well with Shonen Heart as the OP for that section of episodes. Just all around a great fucking time. At number 18, I have the 13th Lucky Star ED, Wa 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 Wasuremono. I explained the background of these Lucky Star EDs in one of the earlier parts of this, but this one's my favorite. It's the most iconic. I sort of see it as the birthing place of all these, and I think it was the first one in the group. So this is one of those like weird jokes that is so many fathoms deep that even just parsing it is a lot. And you don't even have to, because it's enjoyable as it is. It's just a random weird fucking ending. But like, so the reference in the title, like the Wa 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 Wasuremono, is the line that he says in Haruhi that had been kind of a meme. And he was, guest starring on this radio show, which is, well, he was a part of it, which is incorporated into Lucky Star. So you've got the Lucky Channel radio show is in Lucky Star, so he's relevant in that way. But also, I don't know if this was actually even released at the time that this show was airing, but they made a Shiraishi Minoru CD where all of these songs that he sings in these EDs are like fully realized songs on this CD. Like even the ones where it's just him like singing the Mikuru song from the from Haruhi. It's like a heavy metal version of that song that he sings along to, which is great. And Wa 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 Wasuremono is a like full bore enka song. Just like this sad, forlorn enka song in the vein of like something like the Kaiji ED that's about having lost his something. And it's like, I think probably that song had already been written by the time this was made, because I doubt that he just had all these lyrics with no idea what kind of song it was going to be. He's clearly singing it like an enka song. And it's also like partially a reference to Ashita no Joe, because the Ashita no Joe OP has a section that's like which is, what he sings in this one. So, it's meant to be like a throwback anime song kind of thing, but with Shiraishi Minoru singing it. But the video, I don't know if the song wasn't complete yet, or if they just thought it would be funny that this is out of nowhere, but it's just him singing a cappella with the sound of like the waves in the background. So clearly they recorded it with him standing like on the beach, on these rocks. But the footage is of him just like dicking around all around this area where they filmed. And the weird editing and hilarious slapstick gags very much reminds me of like the kind of shit that I was doing on YouTube back in 2007, like just random stupid sketch humor filmed on a camcorder in the backyard kind of stuff. So this resonated with me really strongly at the time, and probably was also an influence on me for some of my own editing going forward. Just like stuff like the shot of him breaking the stick on his knee that plays 3 times but like keeps getting closer to him. It's just like crack, crack, crack. That shit cracks me up every single time. The random clapping, all of the text on screen when he says wah 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 and it comes out as giant wahs. It's just such a weird slapdash, hilarious edit job. The rainbows, the stars in his eyes. I've watched this countless times, if you can't tell, because I think it's fucking hilarious. And the tune is also just really memorable. It's really fun to sing along to, Ano hi ano toki okizani ni shita shinokuro kakera kiechimatta no sa ano koto tomo ni akari yuhi ma toru no mabushi ore no jou ga shina baka na yatsu dato warate o kure dakedo nurururu nurururu. I could go on. I mean, I just did half of it, but I could go on. That's enough. At number 17, I've got the Generator Gawl ED, which is another one of these, like, deceptively complex, sweet and cute little fun acoustic pop songs, I guess I'd call it, though really it's just driven by an acoustic guitar. It sounds like just a bouncy little fun melody, but if you really pay attention, the horns in the background, the like little flourishes of electric guitar on top of it and stuff really bring the composition to life, and the vocal melodies are super memorable. The way the singer delivers it, even though it's like a soft and cutesy kind of song, there's almost like a sarcasm to it that matches well with the visuals, because what we have visually is this like crayon-drawn little like day in the life of the main characters. So Generator Gawl is like a fairly serious sci-fi show, but it starts off more comedically tinged. Like the early episodes are mostly like slapstick comedy, fish out of water time travel story that gradually becomes darker and more serious as it gets into its like serious story arc. So this ED goes a long way in kind of keeping the idea of like the early part of the show, the like happy-go-lucky part, alive in your mind as you go into those darker parts of the show, and sort of solidifying the idea of like what the daily lives of the characters were before things got more serious. So, you know, it's got the characters all waking up, eating, going about their day, but always Gawl, the main character, is just overeating and sleeping constantly while the main girl is, like, pissed off at him. And so there's, like, this element of, even though, yes, it's cutesy and goofy, it's also, like, making fun of the characters to some extent. You know, it's portraying it as a deliberate comedy scene, and so it makes the music also come off kind of sly and comedic as well. Something about just how sugary the lyrics are, but being sung in that way that they're not overtly like you wouldn't guess just from the tone of the guy's voice that this is meant to be like a super sugary pop song or anything. And the transitions between the verses and choruses are extremely smooth. I love the chorus. I love the horn melody at the very end of the song that really just wraps it all up and brings it home. It's just a really feel-good, nostalgic, you know, low-key, relaxing pop song, the kind of shit you want to listen to on the beach or while chilling in your backyard. You know, throw it on, have a good time with some friends, and the ED is lovely as well. I love that they're basically, I think they're all literally drawn with crayon on like paper cutouts and animated with paper cutouts. It looks really creative and cute and cool, and I like it. Generator Gawl, underrated show, particularly for its OP and ED, which are both fantastic. At number 16, I have one of the most delightful EDs of all time, the best song and video combinations imaginable. It is the second xXxHolic ED, Kageto by Bucktick. This song is like this epic goth rock anthem. It's a song that's like mostly comprised of this long, hyper memorable chorus that will be stuck in your head forever if you listen to this song all the way through. That just sounds really grandiose. It's got these big spacious riffs and tons of crash cymbal and the soaring vocals. Musume ni nidarete manatsu no yo no yume yume tobitatsu kagero. And the video is just the two lollies from xXxHolic, who are both like background characters, barely relevant at all, just playing air guitar to the song. It's one playing guitar, one on bass, air guitar jamming the fuck out to this song. And they're going along, they're getting fucking into it, and then on that final chorus iteration, Mokona joins in on the drums. It's legendary. Just the animations of these two girls are so fucking adorable, so lively, so much fun. The part at the end when the bass girl like throws her head back and she's just going like, ah! It's the best. I could watch this all fucking day, and I could listen to this song all fucking day. Like, part of the fun of this is that the song is like such a over-the-top dramatic gothy song, and the video is this incredibly goofy, cutesy thing. It truly is gothic Lolita in a very different way than what you're used to, but Yeah, I love it. It's endless fun. At number 15, I've got another legendary ED, the first K-On! ED, starting off the trend of the show, staging each of its EDs to look like a music video, but from like a much gothier, more stylish band than what Hokago Tea Time is. And in this case, they really went for that, like, you know, like actual TV music video feel. All the outfits are extremely distinct, classic. I mean, these outfits were being cosplayed en masse after the release of this show. They just look so fucking good, so stylish. The way that the characters act, though, is what brings it to life. It's not just that they look cool, that the backgrounds look cool. It's that they're never quite looking into the camera. They all have these listless expressions, like they're all kind of tortured, and they don't really care about you, you know, like they don't even realize they're being filmed, you know, as they're just playing this dark, listless tune into the atmosphere, you know. I really love the way that all the character acting is done. The little matching of the lyrics where, you know, you got Mio saying lazy out of the side of her mouth, the weird eye movement when the bass line kicks in before the chorus, and the song is just really fucking good. Like, I wouldn't even say this video is as good as the Listen video. I think the outfits are more iconic, but it's less of an interesting, you know, concept of a video. There's lots of fun moments, granted, but the song is fucking awesome. It's got those super heavy intro and outro bits with the like and all the like keyboard wailing and shit like that. It never lets up. It keeps like being really heavy and fast all through the verses, bridge, chorus. The whole song is intense, fun, rockin'. You could headbang through this fucking song. It is really nice, and like the use of the keyboards throughout really enhances it, I think, to another level. The very unique keyboard sounds being used in the background, and this is another like really musically complex song. There's a lot going on. The fucking descending guitar riff in the bridge to the chorus is really fucking nice, and the vocal melodies are also great, and of course the chorus, super memorable. Please don't say you are lazy, date honto wa crazy. Yeah, you can't help but love it. I remember back around the time the song came out was when I was big into Nico Nico Doga, and there were lots of people who would do like anime song covers on various instruments. You know, same thing happens on YouTube, but there was this one like collaboration of a bunch of the most famous ones doing this song, and it was one of my favorite Nico Nico Doga videos. Just all around, such a good song to come together on. At number 14, I have the ED of Baka to Testo Shoukanjuu, and this is another one of those just fast, fun, punk rock tunes that you know I love so much. Particularly, I love this one in concept, because Baka and Test is a show about a bunch of guys who are dumber than fuck, and the song is about being dumber than fuck. It's Baka Go Home. It's, so, you know, in Japan, there's this idea of the Go Home Club, as I'm sure you've heard from various anime, that like if you're not in any clubs, then you just go straight home, and generally this is highly frowned upon because, you know, you're supposed to give your all to school, and if you're just going straight home, it must mean you are a dumb shit who just wants to play video games. So that's kind of what this song is about, is being the dumb shit who goes home to play video games, but you know, with a certain sense of fiery pride towards being dumb. Like, yeah, I am an idiot, screaming about it. I love chanted vocals in punk songs. I love that, like, just the boneheadedness of it. You know, there's other songs. This one kind of reminds me of a Toho fan song called Tasukete Eirin, which is similarly like a fast punk rock song that's like, you know, kind of from that boneheaded perspective, and with lots of group chant vocals in it. Just, it's like, you know, a bunch of rowdy dumbass boys celebrating being a bunch of rowdy dumbass boys, but in a fun and innocent kind of way. I love the fast-paced drumming all throughout this song. I love that it never slows down. It's got the hilarious like whistling sound effects going into the chorus that keep that energy up. And the melody at the very end of the song is really good. So yeah, fun times. Video-wise, the main appeal of this one, it's not like the best video, but what's cool about it is how the OP is all like light, soft tones and all the girl characters, whereas the ED is all like darker, more like navy tones and all the boy characters. And either one is full of text on screen, as that is what Shin Onuma does, and weird checkers and stuff like that. It's not his most aesthetically pleasing ED, but it's fun to watch, and the song is really what you come for. Chinikaero! At number 14, I have the second Death Note ED, Zetsubo Billy by Maximum the Hormone. And I'm going to tell you a little story about this. So way back in 2007, I was trying to Google for Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei. And I wasn't getting any results for that because nobody was watching it in the West yet. It had just started getting subbed and it was very underground. But there was search results for Zetsubo Billy, which brought up this Visual K looking singer guy who I saw that it was the Death Note OP. So I assumed that Death Note had that the second OP was by somebody named Zetsubo Billy and was some Visual K thing. So I had just out of pocket written it off and made fun of it because I thought Visual K was lame at the time. And just was like, Death Note OP, whatever. And then like a year later, I'm talking to somebody who's like, oh, the Death Note OP and ED are fucking killer. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then they send it to me and I'm like, what is this? This is fucking awesome. And that's how I got into Maximum the Hormone. Turns out that the Visual K picture for Zetsubo Billy is a parody of a Visual K singer who is murdered in the full-length video for this song. Now, here's the thing. I fucking love this song. It's one of my favorite Maximum the Hormone songs. Comes from one of my favorite albums of all time, Buiki Kayasu, much like What Up People, the OP from this particular part of the show. The only reason this isn't even higher on the list is that they didn't really do a good job with the visuals of it. Whereas What's Up People has a fucking awesome video, Zetsubo Billy has a kind of weird, not very exciting video that doesn't really match the song. Particularly offensive to me is the part when he's doing the like, lots on the raw, suns on the raw, and like it just shows these like 4 pictures of light that appear on the screen not to the rhythm of the song at all. Don't know why they went with that. There's lots of just pictures of him like standing in elevators going up. This is like a fast, intense, fun fucking nu metal song. Why is the video so boring? Meanwhile, the actual music video for the song is a big Death Note send-up, and it's really awesome. It has all these great Easter eggs in it, because basically it starts off with someone like flipping through the channels on a TV and they keep seeing all these like music videos for like generic Japanese bands. So you have like a generic Visual K band, a generic singer-songwriter, some rappers, like all like dolled up in like whatever particular style, like, they're all very manufactured bands basically that are singing the lyrics to the song, because one of the great things about Maximum the Hormone is that they have 3 different singers. They combine different styles into their music. So it's like each time a different singer comes on, they're singing a different part of the song. And then you keep, like, at some point in the video, you start cutting to somebody writing names in a notebook. And then when you hit the midpoint of the song, it starts showing all these people dying on TV. And then over all their corpses, the camera pans up into the real shit, and it's Maximum the Hormone, just wearing fucking regular band t-shirts and shorts, looking like fucking regular dudes, and then they just fucking bust out the It's a fucking awesome song and video that is, a better Death Note video than the Death Note ED video. But nonetheless, I love this fucking song. I love the way it effortlessly goes between the heavier and lighter bits, that it can have such a catchy, poppy chorus in a song that simultaneously is so heavy and dark and grimy. I also wish that in the ED version they had put in the final iteration of the chorus where the drummer who does the female vocals chimes in, because I really just like her part in the song, and that's like the only part she really sings at. So, yeah. not the happiest with how they use the song in the show, but it's still one of my favorite songs by one of my favorite bands from one of my favorite albums, so it had to be here. At my number 12 is the Kodomo no Jikan ED, which funnily enough, I never even saw in the show because I dropped it in the first episode for the ridiculously over-the-top censorship that was going on in the original TV broadcast, but this song was used in the Nico Nico Doga Ryuseigun once again, and I caught onto it there, and it's just so fucking fun. It's this extremely fast-paced, energetic pop song, but with, like, punk rock or heavy metal drums, which is all I want. Like, if every J-pop song had, like, fucking frenzied, crazy drums in it, I would probably like all of it a lot more. And it's got the ultra-fast singing, the way too much fun to sing along to, or try to sing along to, at least. And, the video is just the three girls from the show doing their arms super fast, inimitably fast, to the beat of the song. It's like, too fast for me to, ow, I fucking kind of threw my shoulder a little bit trying to do that. Yeah, it's fucking adorable, and I love the video as well. Like, Kodomo no Jikan is the most, like, openly lolly fan service show ever, but I really don't think the show really reads as, like, particularly sexual. It reads more as, like, an adorably precocious show, but it also, like, delights so much in the fact that it's the show about the 8-year-old who wants to fuck her teacher that it's clearly not interested in trying to justify itself to anybody. Like, I really do think that it doesn't come off particularly titillating or anything. It's mostly adorable, but it also is just like, yeah, this is what the show's about, so if you don't like it, fuck you, you know? And the song is just so fun and intense and embracing of itself. It's hard to believe it's real, but I'm very happy that it is. At number 11, with the polar opposite tone of the last song, is the Berserk ED, Waiting So Long. One of the most forlorn, despondent, sad, just overall, like, melancholic songs that I have ever loved. It, once again, like the OP, has this extremely earthy feel to it, given by the deep-sounding, like, down-tuned acoustic guitars that make up, you know, the main rhythm of the song. But there's also, like, these, I'm guessing cellos in the background that are playing this just, again, deep, sad, fucking long notes in the background. I think later into the song in the full length there's like a violin section as well, but and maybe it's all violin. I don't know my stringed instruments well enough to tell them apart, you know, just by ear, but whatever it is, it's a very deep sounding instrument that gives the tone to the song. But also the duet vocals are just so fucking good in this song. It's I think a guy and a girl, and they both sound just so listless and out of it and sad. Like, this is like the song of a soul hurt. It's like when you feel like everything has left you and you're just like cowering in the cold, you know. I'm waiting so long, I'm waiting so long, I'm waiting so long, I'm waiting. I can't even sound as cold as they do in this song. I don't even know how to capture that level of just cold, despondent deadness. It sounds great. I love the song. It's one of the, you know, another one of my favorite songs. So the video is mostly just like still images of the characters in like this weird kind of portrait layout. It's fine. I mean, I think that, you know, to match this song, just giving something that has a rustic and kind of cold feel was enough. It's just kind of like some time to reflect on what you've just seen, you know. But yeah, it's really the song that drives this one being so goddamn good. At number 10, I've got one that's unfortunately very difficult to find on the internet, but it is the Kuuchuu Buranko, or Trapeze ED, Shangri-La by Denki Groove. This song makes my spirit fly into the atmosphere. This is the most uplifting song possibly ever, particularly in the way it's used in the show. So you may know about all those great EDs that start playing during the final scene of the show and lead into the ending beautifully. You know, there's countless ones of these that have been praised, like the Hunter x Hunter Galnerius song or the JoJo's Roundabout, but none of them is as perfect as Shangri-La, because Trapeze is a show about characters who are dealing with various psychological disorders and problems, and each of them comes to Dr. Irabu to try to find a cure. He basically gives them the means to work through their lives and to figure out, you know, like, what's going on, how can I make things better. Usually the episode ends on like an upbeat moment of them finally like having achieved some revelation, some kind of new moment of happiness, emerged as a better person, and the music starts swelling in with these enormous orchestral sounds as it goes like, and it sounds so fucking awesome, so cool. It's basically like a disco song that has like a modern electronic beat to it. Denki Groove is a group I don't know that much about, but I think they've been around for like a long time. They're a fairly influential Japanese electronic group. They also did the song Niji, which makes up the entire last 10 minutes of Eureka 7. And they did both the OP and ED of Kuuchuu Buranko, both of which are great, but Shangri-La, just the fucking energy of it is over the top. The song sounds incredible. The production is super clean. It's got tons of energy, tons of different sounds going on at the same time, just creating this airtight groove through that whole chorus. You will be dancing. You will be Shangri no kanojo wa kitenda, otoki na nanushi yume de kiss, 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 doko e mo doko made mo. Oh, that's the chorus. Kiss, 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 kiss. You can't get it out of there, man. You gotta listen to the song. Listen to the full-length song. The ED visually is just like a bunch of weird fucking images and shit. I mean, the visual style of Trapeze is pretty out there. It fuses photography and animation in a lot of unique ways. Basically just a way to make like an incredibly low budget show workable and interesting to look at. The ED is just like a bunch of weird photographs and shit. But the way that it enters the ED is what makes it special, and just the song itself being so goddamn life-affirming and good. You will feel like $1 million every time you hear this song. So you should be listening to it as often as possible. It's the medicine you need. At number 9, I've got the ED of Gankutsuou, the Count of Monte Cristo. I was talking before on the OP's list about how there's a lot of these mid-2000s shows that were just kind of using the fact that computers allowed them to layer lots of shit on top of each other to do that a whole lot, like Ergo Proxy and Technolize. And this one is that taken to a far-flung extreme, as is Gankutsuou in general. The aesthetic of the show is that it combines all these weird visual textures. If you've seen Zetsubo Sensei and you know the way that like characters move, but the texture like that they're colored with doesn't, that's how all of Gankutsuou is done, as well as tons of CG fusions and like just all around experimental shit constantly. The ED basically just dogpiles all of that on top of each other in one chaotic mess, also with like what seems to be live action footage of like guys in weird morph suits doing freaky dances occasionally coming up. It's shots from all over the show, as well as stuff that's just for the ED, all mixed together over this song that's basically very similar to the song Battles Without Honor or Humanity that is from the Kill Bill soundtrack. It's got that just like basic rising action rock song, like a like, you know, it's just there to be like a hype track, which is perfect because Gankutsuou is a thriller show that pretty much always ends on a cliffhanger. So every episode, some crazy batshit thing will happen, and then you'll hear you're like, oh my god, I gotta see the next episode right now. It's a pretty killer fucking track. It's done by Jean-Jacques Burnel, who also sings the OP, which is tonally the complete opposite. It's a very soft piano ballad, and I like the OP as well. I almost put it on my list, but not quite, because it is very corny. I still love it anyways, but the ED is just unmistakable. When that song comes on at the end of the episode, you are rushing to see the next one. I don't know how well Gankutsuou holds up because I haven't watched it in a decade, but the song, I still have all those memories of just hearing this thing and getting hype as shit. At number 8, I've got the Kare Kano ED, and given that this song is unique to this anime, I think it's fair to give credit to Hideaki Anno here, because that man is an absolute genius at finding the shortest possible route to the biggest possible emotion, especially musically. You think about like Kam Susurtad and how that song is just basically Hey Jude, basically just Pachelbel's canon, but amplified to the maximum. This song similarly uses a very basic, simple, nostalgic chord progression, but played with just enough flourish in the guitars to make it memorable and soulful. And then, of course, the most important fact, it's the two voice actors singing a duet over the song in the sweetest romantic show ever made. I mean, this really ought to just be the standard. I think to some extent it is. If you love, say, the ED of I Can't Understand What My Husband Is Saying, it very much like feels like it was, I don't know if it was directly inspired by this ED. I mean, I think it's a pretty obvious conclusion to come to, that if you're going to write a super sweet romance story, you should have the two actors just sing a duet together. But yeah, the Kare Kano ED is just so goddamn sweet. They sound so good layered on top of each other, particularly the flourishes in the vocals from the female seiyuu whose name escapes me. The like part where she sings like just the way she sings it is so like sassy and fun to listen to and try to imitate. Obviously, I can't do it that well, but yeah, this song has such a just nice, pleasant melody. Again, very nostalgic. The way that the imagery is just like a camera going around a school. And like, I'm only just now really thinking about the fact that like I almost said a camera going around their school. But I mean, it's live action footage of a school, so it's not their school. I mean, it might be the school their school is based on, but we're talking about anime characters, and this is live action footage of a school. That's just how easily my mind makes that association. But yeah, again, just like the odd camera angle, the way that it fixates on, weird like parts of the school, just like running around its perimeter and stuff. It definitely gives it this nostalgic feeling of like, remembering the off the beaten path parts of school that maybe, that you would rarely have tread to, but would have some memory of. I don't want to get too in deep trying to like analyze this thing, but yeah, basically it's just a really sweet duet song with a really nice chorus, and the instrumentation, while very simplistic, is extremely effective, which is something I think Anno is great at setting up. At number 7, I've got the Samurai Champloo ED by Nujabes featuring Minmi, the Shiki no Uta, the Song of the Seasons. I just saw this one live at Otakon, played by Minmi, and this has long been not just one of my favorite anime EDs, but just one of my favorite songs in general. I think it's probably the best beat that Nujabes ever made. It's got that super rich bass, those twinkling jazz pianos that sound phenomenal over it, that kind of Eastern vibe lended to it by the guitars. It just sounds incredible, and Minmi not only sings beautifully over this song, but raps impeccably over this song. Her flow is tight as hell. It took me a long time to be able to rap along to this song, and the parts that are sung in like that Japanese folkloric kind of way, they're like that melody is fucking genius. It sounds amazing. All around, love this song. Now, I'm fairly certain that in the show they play the song like in like a different order each time. Like they don't play the same parts. They like switch around what part is first or not, if I remember correctly. Because when you search for this on YouTube, you get a version that like starts with the chorus, and I don't like that it does that. That's part of why I didn't put this higher on the list, is that, first of all, the imagery, I like that the imagery has this very unique tone to it. It's extremely nostalgic feeling. It looks like photographs almost of like, you know, the characters in the world, but you know, it's not the most striking imagery, and the fact that the song doesn't open with that one melody that I love so much, which it does in the original song, it just doesn't set the tone right. I think that the full song is a lot better than the part that is played in the ED. You know, I don't think they picked the best sampling of the song, but then again, I think I remember them playing it in different arrangements each time. Whatever. Either way, I'm not as endeared to it as just the ED of Samurai Champloo as I am to the song in itself being so goddamn good. Minmi, funnily enough, is one of the worst musicians I've ever heard outside of this song. Like, her music is completely unlistenable, weird garbage. And I know it takes a lot of influence from, like, just styles of music I'm not familiar with, I guess. And gracefully, when they were doing the tribute to Nujabes concert at Otakon, she played her ED first and then played the rest of her music, and we walked out because it was just it was batshit insane. But you know, the job she did on this song will always keep her in my heart as a truly magnificent artist. Like, I can't deny the incredible talent she displays in this particular song, even if the rest of her music is not like this at all. But still, yeah, just a phenomenal track, one that I've listened to countless times over the years, and very much deserving of the top 10. At number 6 is a legendary work of absolute genius, the Fooly Cooly ED, Ride on Shooting Star. Honestly, kind of cheating since they used the entire song and it goes for 2.5 minutes, but hey, it's an OVA series, and just what they did with this video is so goddamn genius. I mean, first of all of the music that the Pillows did for this show is some of the best punk rock music of all time. It is a phenomenal soundtrack that I have spun no shortage of times, and of course this song comes at the back end of it and just gives it that nice closing touch. It's a fun, upbeat, just endlessly re-listenable song with totally nonsense lyrics and a hilarious and memorable chorus, the Ride on Shooting Star. You know, I love the way that the guitars go from this sort of light, plucky, flittering around, playing random shit in the verses to that heavy-ass chorus. But more importantly, it's this goddamn video. All focused, of course, on Haruhara Haruko's Vespa. First of all, the part where she's just like doing tricks on the Vespa has some phenomenal animation, and all the cutaways to her just like doing weird sexy shit all looks really cool. Those images, they flash by quick, but they stay in your mind forever. And, you know, she beats up the Vespa, gets sick of it, so it takes on a life of its own and goes on an adventure. And the decision to do the stop-motion live action of the Vespa going through town is just a stroke of genius only Gainax would ever do. It's so much fucking fun to follow the Vespa around. The part where it starts flirting with some girl is fucking hilarious. You know, cutting between that and some more animated bits. Everything about it is just stylish and cool, ultra memorable. The flashing images of the Vespa at the very end. Yeah, this is like the cream of the crop, pure Gainax style in one package. What's not to love? Absolutely nothing. At number 5, you know we weren't done with Maximum the Hormone yet. I love them too fucking much. And this song actually comes from their previous album before the one that the Death Note OPs comes from. It comes from Rakinpo Goroshi, which is also a phenomenal album and one that's a lot more hardcore punk style, less of the nu metal trappings, shorter, brisker songs that are just punchy and to the fucking point. And this is one of my favorites on the track, one of my favorite tracks on the album, rather. Rolling 1000 tune. And I think I first heard this song because of a Sakuga of, I think, Hiroyuki Imaishi's work before I even knew he was a director, but I just thought he was my favorite animator. And, I remember finding out that it was Maximum the Hormone and being, surprised because it sounds so different. And also that it was the ED of Airmaster, which is fucking hilarious because Airmaster is this show that's basically like a kung fu action show that has really great fight animation and choreography, but otherwise the show is fugly. The character designs are fucking hideous. Just the overall style of it is gross. It only looks good during the action scenes. So the ED just seems to fully embrace the grotesquerie of it and just have the characters running with horrified, shocked expressions on their face, like they're running from, I don't know, an army at their back, and they're just fucking running down the road with these goofy expressions, their limbs flapping all around, nothing looks quite anatomically correct, it just barely is animating in a way that makes sense, everyone's tits are way the fuck too big, it just looks goofy and hilarious, and it matches the tone of the song perfectly, because, Maximum the Hormone, and it's got one of those choruses that sticks in your mind forever. Enter skiwari, whatever enter skiwari, rolling, enter skiwari, your nanny soku breaks, down. Ah, so good. And then the ending shot of the video when the instruments all cut out and it's just a guy going, "Oh!" and it gets this girl's face right up in the screen, it occupying all screen space, shaking and screaming. It's just a fucking classic ending to the OP. It's fucking hilarious. ED, I mean. Yeah, this one there's not much to say. It's just such a fucking good time. Great song, great idea for a video. Alright, at number 4, this one's definitely cheating, because it's the 5 centimeters per second ending, which is an entire 5-minute song that plays for the entire ending of 5 centimeters per second. I mean, technically, 5 centimeters per second is considered 3 short films, and this is the last one. Whatever. This song is so goddamn powerful. One More Time, One More Chance, which is actually a song that I believe came out in the late 90s, so it was already a decade old by the time it was even used in this movie, and they rearranged it. The original, I think, was just an acoustic ballad, but they added in all this orchestral instrumentation and made it really epic in the film version. But God, it's just such an emotionally gripping melody. It's one of those songs that is designed to make you feel, designed to make you cry. I mean, the modern equivalent to this might be an Adele song or something. It's definitely a pop song, but just very broad, very normcore. It doesn't seem like something I would listen to, but I can't help myself. The song is just so massive, that chorus is so huge, so feelsy. いつでも探しているよどっかに君の姿を夢の中の骨柄の僕言えなかった好きのよ言葉をいつでも探しているよ No, I don't know most of the words but I still sing along to the song every time because I love the melody so much in the night of boom夏の思い目が回る不意に消えたこといつでも探しているよどっかに君のもとへ And it goes on like that for 5 fucking minutes. with increasingly intense instrumentation. Oh, that took all the blood out of my face. Oh, and I guess the visuals are the ending of 5 centimeters per second. This pastiche of all of the just glimpses of moments throughout the main characters' lives as they grow old, never running into each other again, as they become fading memories in the back of one another's minds, never quite being happy again like they were when they were young. Such a goddamn depressing movie. Speaking of songs that fill me with big emotions, number 3 is the third and final K-On! ED, No Thank You, En Yoshitaino, which is the best. The music in particular is just a phenomenal song. It's this charging, dark rock and roll song. Kind of takes the energy of the other 2 songs and combines them in a way, but with a much more forlorn, melancholic feel. Lyrics that are about, like, you know, that are very like, listen to our heartfelt songs, I'm gonna pummel you with this message kind of thing. But it's just like got a goddamn extremely memorable melodies all the way through. The segues between verse, bridge, and chorus are all really fantastic. It constantly is charging up in energy, and then you get to that chorus and it explodes out in a soaring way. I just love everything about this song. I love the instrumentation. I love the vocals. The full length of the song is also great. I love the odd way that it's sung, because the K-On! Songs are actually really difficult to sing along to, because it's like Mio's voice actress just like skips every third vowel or so. Like what you would read as like Hokago no chaimu yuhi ni hibite mo is like Hokago no chaimu yuhi ni hibite mo yume miru power disurenai ne ai ni. Like, she's just leaving out all these vowels, and you kind of have to like rewrite your own lyrics in order to perform the song, which of course I did and extensively practiced. But yeah, every time you get to that chorus, and Yoshitaino, and then good shit. I get emotional when in the full length when she screams, "No, thank you!" before the last chorus. I wish I was better at actually describing the music instead of just singing it, but you know, whatever gets the point across. I wanna be. At my number 2 spot is I Wanna Be, the first ED of Soul Eater that is just so fucking emotionally gripping and powerful and fun to sing along to and go apeshit to. It opens with this twinkling, sad melody as the singer sings, I wanna be ikoze, ikoze, iko, and then you hear that guitar ramp it up, and then and the big scream, wailing guitars, the drums go, I wanna be, and then you're just in a cool fucking fast punk rock song, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, fuck yeah, I wanna be everything, I wanna be, Maso no, Zetsubo Otomi Shoni. And it's like, the fact that the song is so like sad and down sounding while having such powerful lyrics, it's like you're trying to fight off the ultimate tide of depression and just waves and waves of fucking angst coming at you from those guitars, which are just like this constant like twinkling downward spiraling riff. Like it's never like an upbeat sounding song, in spite of how fast and intense it is and how heavy those drums are, and the wailing, I wanna be. Yeah, fuck yeah. It's not easy to be. You gotta wanna really hard. Oh, and visually, holy fucking shit, Soul Eater has one of my favorite aesthetics of all time. Atsushi Okubo's style is just Really fucking awesome. It speaks to me. I love his fashion sense, the way that the characters look and are dressed. And Studio Bones did an amazing job adapting that aesthetic to animation. But this ED even then has a distinct style in itself. It's got this this odd like filter, I guess, on it where everything looks a little like tarnished and comic booky. I don't know how to describe it, but the opening pose of Soul and Maka with the moon in the background as the camera pans slowly up with the sad vocals, it looks really beautiful. And then you get all these huge fiery explosions when the chorus kicks in. Cool action scenes. All the backgrounds look great. Really just makes me wish that Fire Force looked as good as Soul Eater does aesthetically, but whatever. I love this ED. It's another one that I've obviously watched countless times since it's my number 2 favorite, but there's one completely untoppable ED that we have to talk about. When I was in middle school, I decided that I wasn't going to sing the Pledge of Allegiance anymore because I didn't believe in America. So instead, I would sing my own Pledge of Allegiance under my breath on the school bus on the way to school. If I started from right when I passed this certain Taco Bell, I'd have just enough time to sing the Real Folk Blues before I got to school. So my personal Pledge of Allegiance to anime went like this. 愛してたと嘆くにはあまりにまた気の過ぎてしまったまだ心のほころびを癒しのまま風が吹いている乾いた瞳で誰か泣いてくれ The real folk blues 本当の悲しみが知りたいだけ泥の香りつけた人生の悪くはない一度君で終わるならバララララララHoly fucking shit! It's so good! It's so good! It's too good to be real! Cowboy motherfucking Bebop. You've heard me talk about Cowboy fucking Bebop. Obviously you've seen You Gotta Carry That Weight. This show's been with me since I was a wee lad. More than half of my life at this point. By quite a bit, actually. I first saw it in 2001. And, you know, the show was deeply ingrained into my bones. And as much as I do love Tank, the OP, the ED is really what was like, you know, what stuck with me, what I really thought about a lot, what I would listen to more, sing along to, probably just because it has vocals, you know, like there's not really much to latch onto with the OP, but that ED is just so fucking enormously dramatic and sad and bluesy. It's like, it's cooler than fuck. Like, the song sounds awesome. It sounds badass. It sounds like you're going into battle. There's a reason it plays during the final battle of the show, but it's also like, I'm gonna die. It's also like, I'm the saddest person in the world, and, but I'm also the coolest person in the world. I want to die to this song. I remember one time I wasn't feeling at my best. I was kind of tired driving home and listening to the full length version of the song, the full 6 minutes version with the long, like, you know, proggy breakdown ending bit with the, you know, the constant soloing and fucking vocals in the background and the rising keyboards. And I was just like, if I swerved off the road and blew up, this is the song I'd want to do it to. I mean, it's just so perfect in every way. It's got those fucking horns. They sound awesome. The vocalist sounds incredible. It's incredibly fun to sing along to. The real fire blues.
が知りたいだけどらの代わり付き合うと人生の悪くはない一度君で終わるなら I'm going to see myself out now. I hope you all enjoyed the top OPs and top EDs videos, and look forward to the insert songs.